Well, hello, Jackets fans, and welcome back to this episode of Buzzwords, where the San Francisco Giants Director of Player Development, Kyle Haines, joins us. And Kyle, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us, and how are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me, Colin. I'm doing great overall. Obviously, things would be a lot better if we had some baseball going on, and the young Giants were out there on the field out in Augusta, North Augusta.
And I know you've been probably staying very busy, but what specifically have you been doing, and what's been part of your job description during this kind of unprecedented time?
Yeah, no, I mean Zoom calls. I'm getting the hang of those. We just spend a lot of time trying to connect with people. Um, I talk to scouting department a lot, and Michael Holmes is doing a great job trying to run our draft and just connect with him once every week or 2 weeks. And Joe Salermo, our international scouting director, and all the way through our front office, agents for the players, sometimes the players, a lot of staff. People forget we have over 120 employees to some degree in player development uh, on the player development department. So just trying to connect with them as much as we can, and would love to connect with them even more, but it's just so hard on call. So we try to utilize Zoom and try to connect as a group, talk baseball, talk what we can do to help to develop the players better.
And for you, this is your second season as the Director of Player Development with the Giants, and you not too long ago were the manager in Richmond. And what has it kind of been like for you to have this journey to go from being a manager and now to switching over to the Director of Player Development? What has that transition been like for you?
Um, it's been an incredible growth, internal growth experience. I mean, really, I always look back and I think I'd be so much better. I'd be a much better manager in whether it be A ball, double A, triple A, whatever it is I would be so much better at doing that job now looking back at it from this role, and kind of puts it into perspective a little differently, and um, definitely shift gears a lot more. I don't get to uh, maybe communicate daily with the players the way I did with managing job. When I was managing, you'd spend 6 straight months with the coaching staff or a set of players, and you'd really get to know each other and deeply kind of know each other and what makes them tick and what makes them a good player. And on and off the field, you really feel like you connect with them really well. And in this role, you kind of jump around and you get to learn a lot of different places, and that's great as well. You get to learn the organization more broadly, I guess, not just from the minor leagues, but also from the front office perspective. And then it's a whole nother ball game. And before I took the job, people had told me how hard the job was, and it's incredibly hard, but it's also a passion of mine, which makes it a lot easier to go by.
When you say it's a passion of yours, are you talking specifically about just investing in the younger players, or what is it about this job that you're so passionate about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of it. I love the San Francisco Giants first and foremost. I love the game of baseball more than anything, maybe. Obviously, outside of family and stuff, baseball's just been a huge part of my life. And so between baseball, the Giants, helping people grow, helping these kids grow, that's a huge passion of mine. Watching them try to achieve their dreams, and we do know that not all of them are going to make it, but we want to try to help each one make it, because that's we've kind of put our dreams aside and said it's about other people's dreams now. So and then with the Giants going through some struggles there the last few years in the big leagues, it's a great opportunity for us to try to blend all these things together and really make a positive impact on the Giants and their fans and everybody going forward, and hopefully put us back at the top of the standings where we feel like we belong.
Awesome, awesome. And for you mentioned how much you love the Giants organization, but I mean, you were a player in the Giants organization not too long ago, and you even spent some time in Augusta. So what has it been like for you to, specifically in Augusta, you played here with a bit different stadium, and now you're on a whole different side of things, looking at a new stadium and kind of a different look in Augusta. So what's that transition been like for you?
Yeah, it's been wild. I've been a Giant. I was drafted by the Giants 2004, so I've had the Giants embedded in me for a long time, and a lot of passion for the organization and the people within it, the ones that are visual to the public, and then the ones behind the scenes too, obviously, that have been around a long time. Really grown good friends with all of them, and yeah, I mean, just growing from a young 21-year-old player, playing in the minor leagues with them, and then now in a front office role and trying to help grow the next generation of winning ball players it's been a wild ride. I'll tell you that much. It's been wild. Honestly, didn't expect it, didn't anticipate it. It just kind of happened, and it happened really fast. And I love challenges. It's been a challenge, but yeah, I mean, honestly, whenever I go to Augusta, I love it. I love everything about Augusta. I did when I played there, and I'm really jealous of what the players have now because I liked Lake Olmsted, but I liked it better because when I got hits, but it didn't matter the stadium when you played well. But um, yeah, I mean, just seeing that new stadium and seeing the fans and seeing kind of some of the older tradition from Lake Olmsted trickle over into the new stadium and seeing kind of a new wave of Augusta Green Jackets baseball has been a fun experience for me, and I'm really jealous of the players who get to play in that stadium and in that part of town and have the community support that they have now.
So let's shift gears a little bit now and let's talk about that next generation. Who were some of the guys from Augusta last year that really stood out to you and why? I mean, I know we've had Seth Corey on here, Logan Wyatt, who spent a little bit of time in Augusta toward the end of the season. I mean, who stood out to you personally?
Oh wow! I mean, there was a lot of guys. I think we were pretty happy with the development of the entire roster. But when you're talking in the major league context, it's hard not to get excited about what Seth Corey did. Um, I think we knew he was going to grow and really become a leader on that team, and he did in the first half, and then the second half he took it to a completely another level and another gear that we've always kind of hoped he hit, and he did hit it. I mean, Seth's the guy that stands out, but we also shouldn't discount some of the growth that doesn't go unnoticed of, whether it be a high draft pick, someone like Logan Wyatt, seeing him come and join the Green Jackets in the year that he was drafted in the second round. But also we shouldn't discount like JJ Santa Cruz in the year that he had. I mean, he had a fantastic year out of that bullpen, or Ryan Walker had a nice year out of the bullpen. And, you look down there and there was a lot of really positive development. Whether you see some of those guys in the top Baseball America top prospects or not. I'm excited to see Preston White throw again, who kind of blended in that bullpen a little bit. I'm excited to see how much he can grow. He's a big, strong, athletic kid who throws hard. I think every guy, whether it's Preston White, who's a big, strong former outfielder, learned how to pitch, or Jesus Tona, who really gravitated and became a fan favorite there in Augusta, closing games out. All the way to some of these position players like Ismael Munguia or Frankie Tostado. And you can just go down the list. A lot of guys did a lot of really good things there in Augusta. And I don't want to name them off, but I know that entire roster seemed to come together and really grow. Keaton Wynn seemed to get better as the year went on. And it'd been nice to see Blake Rivera be able to stay healthy all year. He did finish the year healthy there, but he missed a big hunk. He was growing a lot there in the middle of the year. So, I mean, it's endless. I don't want to name every guy off, but Seth Corey, if he didn't stand out to people, I don't think you're paying attention. But there was a lot of other good success stories down the roster were there as well.
And that's an exciting thing to hear for Green Jackets fans. And the team they had last year was obviously so much fun to watch and making the playoffs the way they did. But I know everything's up in the air right now, and no one really knows much of anything or what's going to happen. But when the Green Jackets get back on the field, whenever that may be, who are maybe some of the guys that are next in line in the Giants organization that Green Jackets fans should be keeping an eye on?
Well, I mean, the number one would be Marco Luciano. He obviously lines up pretty close to the level of Augusta, and he's by the publications rated in the top 3 prospects. Some of them have him as the top one, including Baseball America, which is usually the gold standard for prospect coverage. And they have him ranked as one of the top prospects in the whole game of baseball, not just the Giants. So I think the fans should be excited about seeing him. I think that you've had a lot of good players come through there, and he definitely is worthy of a lot of the recognition that he's gotten so far. And it'd be great to see him grow there in Augusta. Alexander Canario is another guy. Luis Toribio. These are all guys that have gotten a lot of name recognition. in these publications, and I think they're ready to kind of step up and have another year, whether it be in Augusta or another place. But I think they're definitely on the Augusta radar. And to be quite honest, we could easily have a lot of these guys step up in a year from now. Talk about players who we really wouldn't discuss it at this point, who are top guys a year from now. Because hopefully not too far off from watching guys like Luis Matos or Garrett Frechette or Grant McCrae, and some of these younger kids that we picked last year in the draft as well from creeping into Augusta.
And it's definitely a good time to be a Green Jackets fan because, like you said, there's a lot of talent, both that played here last year and that could be coming up here shortly. And Kyle, thank you so much for taking the time. Of course, this is another great episode of Buzzwords presented, as always, by WOW Internet Cable and Phone. Kyle, thank you and take care.
No problem. Thank you.
That's the Giants Director of Player Development, Kyle Haines.